You are listening to the She Matters University podcast with Maggie Mejia, episode number 2. Hey girl, if you're here, it's because you want to take your gifts, talents, and abilities and turn them into an online course or coaching program. And I'm here to coach you on how to do it all. So if you're ready to build your faith to lead, to see further, move faster, and live your fullest life in Christ, then stay tuned and let's get it poppin'. Hey, what's up, everyone? Episode number 2, man. We're here. It is cold outside. I am ready for the summertime. I am not a winter girl. I want you to know that this is something, she, me, her is just not about the cold life. I don't know about you. I am just not about the cold life. And I'm looking out my window right now, and as beautiful as it looks, snowing, everything's covered in white. It looks beautiful from inside my house. I don't want to go out. Right, but that's besides the point. So what are we learning today? We are going to be learning about my coaching philosophy. I started this podcast in hopes that it would coach people who are not yet in the university, where they can find value, you can become more aware, you can make better decisions in life and business, and that you would get some coaching on this podcast, right? With every single episode, I knew that I wanted to record material that would have you walk away in reflection, right? So today I wanted to talk about how I coach my girls. Like every student inside of SMU will go through this coaching philosophy. So what is it? It's 3 words: aware, decide, commit. So let's get into it. All 3 are important and mandatory to implement if you ever want to create massive impact in this world. Why? Because the awareness you have and the decisions you make in life influence the commitments that you see through. When we are made aware of something, there will always be an opportunity for us to respond. The thing is, we react instead of responding to situations. This happens out of our fight, flight, flee, or fawn. We see it all the time. I want you to think about your business or your ministry right now, and you know that there are changes that you need to make in it. In order for you to make some more income, you know that there are things that you're going to have to change, but in order for something in your business to change, something about you needs to change. So the very first thing is you want to be made aware of what needs to change in you in order for something to change in your business. So instead of becoming aware so we can respond, oftentimes we just start feeling this tension and we try to fight through the tension. Or we will totally ignore what needs to be changed in our business, and which is our flight response, and we run away from it. But you know it's there because no matter how much you try to avoid something, you still feel the resistance. Some of us are not making money because we people please our way through our business or ministry. Do you know that the value you give to people is limited when you people please? You're hitting a ceiling in your business. Right now you feel blocked, like you've hit a ceiling in your business because you've people pleased your way to where you are right now. But the tension that you feel is God calling you higher and telling you you're going to have to step out, be bold, tell the truth. But the more honest and vulnerable you become, the more people you think are going to be offended, are going to be hurt, are going to think you're talking about them. So you keep all of your information vague. You don't say anything specifically. You're not talking to anyone specifically. Why? It's more about how you're going to feel. I'm going to feel rejected. I'm going to feel confronted. What if so-and-so comes into my DMs after they hear what I said online, what I posted online, what I did online? Let me tell you something. You only speak about the things that you're free from. And the reason you can't speak about it is because you haven't been totally healed from it. And the moment that you get healed, baby, the moment that you get free, honey, is when you're going to be able to talk from a place of vulnerability. And it might even bring some healing for the person that you're talking about. Guess what? The content that we write online is always going to come from our point of view. It's always going to come from our experience. You're not throwing shots at people, right? You are talking about your experience so that someone else might be healed from what you went through. But if you never open up your mouth, and if God is calling you higher, but you're too scared to be that vulnerable, is because you're still struggling with abandonment and rejection issues. So you've people pleased your way throughout your business. All your content is just recycled content that you've seen out there from someone else, and you just try to change it up. And it's all because you're too afraid to lose, quote unquote, people, or you're too afraid to be left with feelings of rejection. For some reason, you can't get past the place you are in your business. So you freeze up altogether, but now you feel unseen, unheard, unloved, underappreciated. You're blaming it on clients. You're saying, I'm not getting clients because people don't want what I have. I'm not getting clients because people don't want the truth. I'm not getting clients because people don't want to put in the work. No, honey, you're not getting clients because you've chosen to hide under the radar all this time. And every single time you want to get a little bit more honest online, you freeze up and become too afraid. And in this case, the reciprocity of fear is silence. You work so hard on a post. You work so hard on an email campaign. You work so hard on these reels that you've been trying to do online, and then you get nothing. You get one like, and then you get mad when the audience is silent, but it's because you know you're not keeping it 100. You're fearful. So awareness is key, right? Here's a reflection question for you. How much awareness do you think you have in your business about yourself? Before you can become aware about what are some things I need to change in my business, what are the things that you need to change in you? Do you need to start telling your story from your point of view without worrying about who's going to get offended over what? Listen, there is a very classy way to talk about past experiences that you've had without trashing people. Because at the end of the day, it was your experience, baby girl. It's your perspective. And if God called you out so that you can really start making an influence and an impact, He doesn't need vague content. I remember putting out content that was so vague. And what I mean by that is it was so umbrella. I was not talking about anything specific. I would talk about all these umbrella statements like, oh, in life there is blank. Oh, in ministry, you will have pressure, but never talking about the actual pressure that you will have. Why? Because I was too afraid. I started thinking to myself, well, if I do this, people are going to think, wait a minute. I remember that situation. I was a part of that situation. And what was happening was I wasn't making any kind of impact. Why? Because I was too afraid. The only people that are going to get offended off of what you say, if you are classy in your speech, which we teach that in SMU, all right? Your communication is not going to come from a place of hurt anymore because you have healed. And if you have not healed, believe me, when I read your content, I'm going to let you know, baby girl, we got to work on this healing. Because what you're saying here is still coming from a place of hurt. But there is a way to tell your story, to talk about your experiences and being specific about them. You can say, listen, I know what it is to be backstabbed in ministry. I know what it is to have a controlling leader. I know how it feels to have to lay across a bed and squeeze my stomach in to put my pants on because they don't fit. I know what it is to bawl my eyes out all night because I've been cheated on. I know what it is to feel like I'm never going to be a mom because I'm pushing 40 and I don't have children. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You can be very specific about your pain, but what is holding you back from all that specificity is the fact that you haven't healed, you haven't accepted, you haven't leaned into, you haven't overcome, you haven't become aware of all that emotion that is still sitting at the surface of your soul, and the Spirit of God is trying to get you up out of that. People need to hear that because people are going through that. You got it in you, girl. You got it in you to change and transform other people's lives through your story. You can only get as specific as your healing allows you to go. Possibly the reason your content is coming out so vague is because you are still dealing with the hurt, the pain, the backstabbing, the manipulation, the control, and you're dealing with all that recycled hurt. And so every time you want to either write it out on your content, you start talking in umbrella terms, or you don't talk about it at all, because when you put the pen to the paper, all these feelings come up for you. So instead of impacting somebody, you throw it up online, and now you have an audience where you're trauma bonding with them instead of creating an impact. I see it all the time. And I'm telling you that you just have to serve people with what God has blessed you with, your gifts, your talents, your abilities, because you can make a difference. Every Christian woman can make a difference. So the first step of my coaching in awareness is learning what's inside of your mind. Right? Everyone has their own cognitive biases, and that's why you should have a coach. Listen, I have a coach because it doesn't matter how much I study the mind, want to know the mind, does not matter. My own mind has its biases, and I need someone else to look from the outside who can coach me on these biases that I have, because I'm looking at certain things as truth when they're not truth. And so someone else helps me to unlock that so that I can keep growing and I can keep moving forward, right? But even if you didn't have a coach, and this is why this podcast is here, there are still massive ways you can grow personally when you start building your awareness. So how do we do this? Awareness comes from reflection. It's about sitting down, no TV, no music in the background, not even an instrumental, just sit, just be, and have a journal in hand and start seeing what thoughts come up for you. Literally, you'll be amazed that 1 minute you're thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner, and the next minute you're crying over your second grade teacher, and then the next minute you're happy as can be because you start dreaming with the Lord. But you have to become aware of what's in your mind. What are your first thoughts that pop up for you, right? The next step is decide. So now you're sitting with your notebook in front of you, and you're looking at your thoughts. Now, this is the thing. Some people don't realize that you will read your thoughts back to yourself, and you'll have thoughts about your thoughts. You'll be like, oh no, girl, I cannot believe that was in your mind. Oh no, honey, I cannot believe that was in your mind. And you just start judging yourself. And so literally, this is how deep some of those limiting beliefs are, but you have to become aware of it all. And after you do, you have to start making decisions about what you see. You have to ask yourself, do I still want to think this way? What are some of the things on this paper that are positive that I don't see in my life right now, but I want to start making the decisions I need to make in order to progress? So if you have a thought of, I want to lose 25 pounds, you can have another thought about that and say, it's never going to happen. Or you can start making a decision and saying, I'm going to lose these 25 pounds. What are some options I can give myself to lose these 25 pounds, right? Let's say you wanted to lose 25 pounds in 5 months. So then when you reverse engineer that, you know you have to lose 5 pounds a month, which means you're losing less than 2 pounds a week. So what habits do I have to change in order for me to lose less than 1 pound a week? Do you see how that starts working? You cannot start making decisions on something you have not become aware of. But once you become aware of it, you can then start making decisions and changes for your life. But it is a step-by-step process. Too many of us go into something like, I want to start a business, and we just throw anything to the wall and pray that it sticks. No, there is a strategy behind the things that you do, but you cannot develop an effective strategy if you're just throwing things at the wall all the time. The most important decisions you will ever have to make for your business is to invest in your mind, okay? Because that is the asset for your business. So you invest in your mind, you learn how to use it better, and start planning so that moving forward, everything is organized and you're more productive, right? That's a decision. Now that's not just a desire, it's a decision. Go through every thought that you wrote down so that you can start making some decisions on the thoughts that you have. Some of us don't make decisions because we feel like that's never going to happen for us. Or we'll have a thought like, I want to start a business, and immediately our mind goes into, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to take the first step. I don't know what a niche is or how to find a niche. I don't know how to start a course. I don't know the online world. Like everything starts kicking in. All the fear starts kicking in. Why? Your mind is going into overdrive to protect you from what seems dangerous. All the mind detects is danger, danger, danger. So starting a business is dangerous. Losing weight is dangerous. That's how your mind interprets that. The reason you're not able to commit to those goals is because the decisions that you have to make in order to get there are unclear. And everything, listen to me close, anything that is unclear to the mind, your mind will go into overdrive to protect you because it thinks you're in danger. So the clearer you can become on your goals, meaning the decisions you have to make in order to achieve them, the more you will see yourself grow, evolve, get better. Like it's ridiculous what you can accomplish once you start surrendering your mind to the Lord and growing personally, meaning personal development, so that you can go faster and move further in a very calm and easy way. Understand what a decision is, right? When we look at the word decide, I'm going to give you some examples. So we have homicide, meaning killing of a person. You're killing a person. We have suicide, the killing of oneself. We have decide, and that means to cut off. D means to cut off. Side, again, the killing. So you're killing off or you're cutting off anything that's going to deter you from making this decision, from moving in this direction. So deciding means you're cutting off the excuses. You're cutting off the explanations. You're cutting off everything that deterred you from the decision you're making. So if you decided you're starting a business, there's no such thing as I don't have the money, I don't have the knowledge, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too thin, I'm too fat, I'm not influential, I have nothing to say, I don't know what to do online, techie stuff scares me. You see all those things. See, these are things in our head that we start taking as fact. These are things in our head that we're like, well, I've never been online, so I can't have an online business. I'm a brick and mortar business. I don't know what to do when it comes to going online. I'm a pastor. I have a church. What do you mean create a course for my congregation? I don't know how to do that. All of those excuses have to go bye-bye. All of those excuses have to be killed off. When you make a decision, you have to understand this. When you make a decision, all you have to know is that what you may not know now, you are building a skill set and a strategy for. So it just means surrendering those things to the Lord, troubleshooting, growing in your skill set, figuring it out. Listen, it doesn't have to look perfect. What you see online today and the things that you see on social media, that is the pretty part. That is the highlight reel. But business has its ups and downs, its good days, its bad days, its hard days. Behind the scenes, nobody sees that, especially if you're a solopreneur. So you have to build systems in place because you can't be everywhere for everybody. But nobody talks about those things. And that is exactly what we have to do. We have to be a people who are willing to learn something that we may not know today because we've decided that we're going into the space where God called us. That just so happens to look like an online platform these days, where Paul and Peter and John and everyone preached. Listen, they went and traveled in the ways that they could, but because of something called the internet, the beautiful thing called the internet helps us to expand God's kingdom and get the word out right from our homes. We just have to develop a skill set in a different way. And I can teach you that step by step. This is the stuff that we learn at the university. That's where commitment comes in. Because when I decided to start SMU, that wasn't a decision that I took lightly. That wasn't a decision that I said, if it doesn't happen in a year, I'm quitting. If it doesn't happen in 2 years, I'm quitting. This is my 5-year plan. And if I don't see the results I want to see in 5 years, I guess it wasn't for me. God did not call me to this. No, when I knew that there was a desire and a conviction, because you need both. I had a desire and a conviction to teach women who had a passion for something. It doesn't matter what it is, but you had a passion for something and you want to impact people online and you want other people to know, because you know that there are other women out there that need what you have. And if that was something that I was going to make a decision in helping you get there, then I knew I was deciding for life. I'm a lifer, right? Until the good Lord takes me home or he tells me, Maggie, it is time to move on, pass this on, let this go. Like, that's the only way I get out of this. It's not a financial number that I need to hit. It's not, listen, numbers are important in business, but it's not something where I said, if I don't make this much on this year, I'm out. Some of us quit too early, right? There are some of us that we wanted to lose the weight by this amount of time. And if we didn't lose the weight at this amount of time, then we just quit. And we think, I'm never going to lose this weight. I've been trying for 3 years. Have you? Have you really committed? Because what commitment means is that after you make that decision, you commit to what you've decided on. And commitment is for life. I am committed to my husband. So that means that if I argue with him, if we are mad at each other, if we're just not communicating the right way, that doesn't mean I go out and I do whatever I want and look at whoever I want just because my husband and I, got into an argument. I'm still committed. How many of us ladies in a rush, you go to the supermarket, oh man, you don't have your wedding ring on. Just because you don't have your wedding ring on does not mean you are not married and in a committed relationship. And that is the same commitment that you need with your business, the same commitment that you need to make in your life, because we're always committed to something. If I'm committed to losing weight, then that means I've broken up with that mindset and the excuses that I just can't lose the weight. The problem is that we start judging ourselves and trashing ourselves the moment that we don't see the results in the amount of time that we want to see them. I want you to know that's the worst thing you can ever do for yourself. Why are you making a number on a scale mean something about you? Think about that. Why are you making a number in your bank account mean something about you? How your business is going means something about you. You start thinking you're just not worth it. You start thinking, I don't have enough of what it takes. There's nothing new for me to say. Every entrepreneur out there who is doing the things that I want to do, they're doing it better than me. So the market is saturated and I'm not going to be able to make an impact in this industry. Are you kidding me? There is only one you. God created you the way he created you. The reason you're not seeing the impact and the influence that you want to make in the industry that you're in is because you keep trying to do it someone else's way. You keep trying to sound like so-and-so. You keep trying to post like so-and-so. What you need to do is stick to you. Who says that there's one way to build a business? It's like that old saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. In the same way, there is more than one way to build a business. We serve a God who has unlimited wisdom, unlimited knowledge, and you don't think that he's going to give you unlimited ideas and strategies on how to run your business? Guys, I just started a podcast in 2022, and this is only the second episode. You don't think that there are thoughts and feelings that I have to overcome when I start to think there are so many other people doing what I am now setting out to do on this platform? But I also have thoughts in my head that nobody is going to do it like I can do it, that nobody has the message in their mouth like I have a message in my mouth for the people that God has called me to influence. I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. Not everyone is going to like me. I have had people tell me, why do you shout so much online? Why are you screaming at that camera? Why are you... Girl, if you knew me, guess what? You would come to my house and I would be just as loud. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm Puerto Rican, and I have a loud family, and we love it. I laugh loud, I talk with my hands, and it just is what it is, because it's who I am. I'm not going to change that for anybody. If you don't want to see me screaming at a screen, then guess what, honey? Just log off. Right? But there were days that I was like, oh my God, maybe I should be calmer. Oh my God, people are doing this. Oh my God, people are reacting this way. And it's like, yo, then that's just not your people. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Listen to me. It's okay. I want you to know that. Become aware. Start making decisions that you can commit on, and then do that thing till the good Lord takes you. Commitment means the long game. I knew SMU was for the long game. This is a marathon, people. This is something that you are learning new skill sets. You are learning how to use your mind. It's about going from overthinking to useful thinking. If you're an overthinker, you are already on your way. Because you say, you know what? I overthink anyway. I might as well put use to this and start making some real commitments, because you have real desires. You just got to make some real decisions. But you can only make decisions based upon what you become aware of. So sit down with a pen, a paper, your favorite drink. Get the journal out and just start writing. The point of this episode was for you to become aware so that you can start making some decisions in your life that are actually going to serve you, that are going to allow you to leave legacy for your children. And so think about that. I mean, it's just a philosophy, but it works. Be aware, make some decisions, and then commit to what you decided on for the long haul. All right, ladies, I'll see you next week. Bye. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come check us out at She Matters University. It's my coaching program for influential Christian women just like yourself. I show you how to start your own transformational journey and life coaching business in just 90 days. Start getting results for other people by getting massive results for yourself. When you change your beliefs, you will transform your life. Join me over at maggiemejia.com/join. That's Maggie Mejia, MEJIA.com/join. And I'd love to coach you over there. See you soon.